thank you all for being here. Thank you very, very much to Victoria Kidd, owner of the Hideaway, our beloved cafe, for allowing us to do this here. It seemed like a wonderful place, an appropriate place for it. So it's been a while since we had the I Can't Breathe March. In recognition of the tragic death of George Floyd. And thankfully, we haven't had that here. We have our wonderful law enforcement. We're so grateful to have the law enforcement officers. We have the organizations, our chief, our sheriff, and that we can all work together on issues like this and make the community, keep our community as safe as it can possibly be for everybody. So I'm very grateful to all the advocates from all professions and walks of life who work on these issues. Hi there. I've been stung 5 times in the last 2 weeks and bitten by a snake. And yet she doesn't flinch.
Great.
Life on a farm. So thank you so much for everything you do, and for providing that specific opportunity for grieving and healing and recommitting to each other to fight for racial equality. There are community members here that are not directly honored by the commending resolution, but who helped make the march possible. So thank you to all of those. And some of that was expediting permit requests, providing financial support, helping to generate support in the community. This march was unique because of the way the entire community mobilized. Activists, citizens, religious leaders, law enforcement, business community, local government, and more. This wouldn't have been possible without the participation of so many different facets of our communities here. And 2 years later, yes, Black lives still matter. And we want to always recognize that. So this resolution passed on a bipartisan, unanimous basis through the House of Delegates, showing that my colleagues across the Commonwealth and I all acknowledge the hard work you put in to organizing this march and the value it brings to Winchester and Virginia as a whole. I'll read the text of the commending resolution, which will become a part of official Virginia state record from here on out. House Resolution number 549, commending the organizers of the I Can't Breathe Walk in Winchester, agreed to by the House of Delegates August 28, 2020. That long ago. Whereas in June 2020, more than 500 people attended the I Can't Breathe Walk in Winchester to protest the death of George Floyd, raise awareness of police brutality, and demonstrate support for social justice. And whereas the I Can't Breathe Walk was organized by Terrence Wilson, Ashley Christine Adcock, Haley Arnold, Samuel Tanner, Latasha Doja, Victoria Kidd, and Andrew Mudd, and sponsored by Tina Stevens Culbreth and Rodney Culbreth, friends of the nonprofit I'm Just Me movement. And whereas the I Can't Breathe Walk began at the Shenandoah Valley Civil War Museum and proceeded through downtown Winchester. After the walk, more than 30 speakers, including religious leaders, elected officials, community activists, and local residents, addressed the need for police and societal reform. And whereas the I Can't Breathe Walk was attended by people of many races, creeds, and backgrounds and built a strong sense of peace, unity, and purpose. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the House of Delegates that the organizers of the I Can't Breathe event in Winchester hereby be commended for providing an opportunity for community members to heal and make their voices heard. And be it resolved further that the clerk of the House of Delegates prepare a copy of this resolution for presentation to the organizers of the I Can't Breathe Walk in Winchester as an expression of the House of Delegates' appreciation for the importance of the event and others like it in the Commonwealth.
So I'm representing Tina today, so she had a whole list of things that she wanted me to say.
But first of all, thank you to everyone in the city that came out to be part of this, to support this march. We also want to thank our city mayor, David Smith, our Winchester Police Chief Piper, along with all the men and law enforcement that came to participate in this march. Also, thanks to all the businesses that stayed open during the march. The businesses that stayed open and those that didn't but provided cases of water at their doors. Thank you to the Virginia Regional Chamber for your support and your leadership. You were instrumental in ensuring that the businesses here in town felt secure, felt safe, felt that and trusted that this march was going to be a successful march without any casualties. Thank you as well to the clergy, Pastor Mack of Mount Carmel, Reverend Wilson with St. Paul Church. Who else? There's so many thanks to be given. But thanks also to the young people that were present, that were speakers. This all started because of Terrence and his desire to want to see this happen. And this was expedited pretty quickly. When we said expedited, that's an understatement. So things that take about 6 months to happen happened in 2 days. And a lot of that was because of Kevin with the Battlefield Foundation. If he would have said no to that permit, this wouldn't have happened. So we thank you for providing that permit in such an expedited manner. 2 days, right? I think what normally takes 6 months. Thank you for your financial support as well, for that event as well. And Rodney and Tina, I'm Just Me, they support the young people in this community. And the shift that the young people are making to create a better community, not just here, not just our city, not just our state, but our country as well. And so at last, I just want to say that as you can see, it really took a community coming together, a community putting in all their effort to make this a successful march, a march where people could be heard, a march where people could let their hurt out. It's okay to be sad, and it was okay to hurt, and it was okay to scream, and it was okay to be upset, but also do it in a peaceful and classy manner that we did it here in the city of Winchester. And just one important piece that, we were just all very instrumental in mourning the death of George Floyd. And I also just want to say a huge thank you to Larry Gates. I know he is very excited right now, up in heaven, looking at us right now. Watch out. Going down.
Watch your camera, sir.
Yeah.
That's great. I've never seen that happen. Oh, I never saw this happen.
It's sensing someone there, Kevin.
But anyway, that was my final thoughts. Just, thank you everyone that came out.
And I'll just say,
I'll just say that, yes, Tina wishes she could be here today, but she sent me and she sent Natalie, and Sheree is also on our board, I'm Just Me movement, and I have to say it was probably Tina's energy that absolutely busted through all the red tape that might take a while. So thank you to all the organizations that helped this expediting thing, and this is really exciting. So everybody, I want you to know that the mission of the I'm Just Me movement is on the back of our card, strengthening youth, families, and communities through mentorship, education and training, positive development, and community collaboration. And that community collaboration is all about inclusion and diversity. And we're talking about everybody's voice. So when we say I'm just me, it's we want to hear from you. How are you just you, and how are you just you? And most of all, I'm just me because you are all my friends, you are all my cohorts, and we're all in this together to lift our voices about inclusion and diversity. So if you don't know about I'm Just Me, we have a great website. Sheree is in charge of our new logo. We have a new, very personalized logo. My old cards have the old logo, but we're into a new logo now. And we also have another group coming. It's called Triumph Over Trauma. And we're going to be one of 23 organizations around Virginia that are looking to build a trauma-informed community. And that just means that we're all aware of the role that trauma has played in our lives and other people's lives, and we realize that there's baggage over time. So that we want to be going in and working with especially children who have been impacted by trauma so that they can build their resilience and learn about having lives where they do feel like they have a voice. So that you'll hear more about that in Triumph Over Trauma, and the I'm Just Me movement is also the sponsor of that group that will be one of 23 around Virginia. So please, if you don't know about I'm Just Me, we're a really important force in this community, and we're all about community collaboration.
On the spot.
Necessarily. Because you're great at
can
that.
do it, Latasha.
You're great at that.
Thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to all the organizers. We're kind of MIA here in the city since the march, but I'm very grateful for all the collaborators and community organizations and businesses that help pull off this march in a safe manner and, like you said, in a classy manner, and definitely in the spirit of Larry Gates, who would have marched right along with us and keeps marching with us as we continue to shift and change our community to the best of our abilities for our young people, and to have as much inclusion and diversity in our city council, and our school boards, in our churches, and in our businesses as well. So thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Let's continue the good work here in Winchester. Thank you for being here today, and thank you again to our host, Victoria Kidd.
Yay.